Yo, what is up guys? I'm hitting up with a new Etheria restart video. I know you're already waiting 2 days no video. I was just chilling a little bit here and there because I thought like, oh, what kind of content do I even want to make right now with the game? I was just a little bit chilled back and I streamed instead the last weekend. So for example, for the people who didn't know, I reached Mythic in RTA. And yeah, I just really had a fun time just streaming the game overall. And when I'm streaming, like, I don't feel like making a video instead, so because the stream is basically like a video. So for those who usually tune in my streams, thank you for tuning in. We really have a great time in my streams in general. People really seem to enjoy when I tilt a lot. I mean, I can't blame them really. I mean, it is kind of entertaining as well. But yeah, so for today's videos, I wanted to talk to you about like an interaction which is probably not discussed at all. I don't even know if you're aware of it. I don't actually think this is like common knowledge at all compared to like other things in this game. But as you can already tell from the thumbnail, it is all about Freya and how she turns into a healer. But before we actually jump into that specific topic, there's a quick thing in eigener Sache, guys. So on first day, Hollow Knight Silksong is going to launch, and I plan to play it on first day on stream. I will make an entire gameplay journey for Hollow Knight Silksong. I really enjoy my time playing with you guys together, so I will be excited or appreciate it when you tune in for this specific journey. I will start streaming on at 6 p.m. CET +1. I think it's the correct time zone. I just checked the German time and then see like 6 p.m. my time. This is where I will start streaming the game. It will be a lot of tilting. I started playing Hollow Knight, the first game actually, and I'm already getting confused about where to go and stuff like that, and have to backtrack a lot, and then I don't even know where I end up, and I feel like I'm ending up in like places where I shouldn't be or whatever. But yeah, I think this will be a fun time on stream with you guys together for that. But let's talk about the thing you clicked on this video for, Freya. Now, why or how does Freya turn into a healer? You might see it, you might not see it if you paid attention to. We are actually playing Freya on Fortissimo. Yes, if we look at the Fortissimo right now, we already stored 330k healing. You might be wondering, wait, how? Like, how can you actually store healing with a character that's not supposed to heal? Well, that is actually simple. So how do you turn Freya into a healer, and probably one of the best healers, especially, and that is very, very strong for content like Oyen, but it's also content like Oyen, content like DK Trumbull, which we are looking here. But I might actually do a separate showcase later with the Union boss as well. The reason why it is so good, or why it works, not about why it is so good, right? Because it being good is always good, right? But how does it work? The reason why it works is because of Freya's debuff, Nightmare. The Nightmare debuff, we have to look at her skills in a minute. We will check that after this particular run. In general, the Nightmare debuff also states that her healing is doubled. And the way that Nightmare works in combination with Fortissimo is when you land the Nightmare debuff on a boss, the Nightmare debuff functions as like a battery, okay? View it as a battery, and every time you hit that battery, you charge the battery, okay? So the battery is the Fortissimo healing, and it's the Nightmare. So when you have the Nightmare debuff on the boss and you hit them with any of your units, right? With like your Ditting, with Lily, Plus, or Selence, or even with Freya itself, you charge that battery. And this is how you store the healing potency of Fortissimo, because you just by hitting the target, you are storing the healing. So see, we have the Nightmare debuff and we just hit with Ditting. Now we have 47,000 right now saved up. And you all know how Fortissimo works. It just stores excessive healing that you didn't need into the first place and just keeps charging it. Now we look at it again. Now we're at 66k. It keeps charging, it keeps charging. And it's like super strong because that's how you can turn Freya into a healer, and the healing procs every 2 turns, right? So as long as you can cycle her nightmare debuff or can keep the nightmare debuff on the boss, that means you have that healing. Now later down the line, you can actually combine that together with, I think in my opinion, which we need to try as well, instead of Didding, maybe even Gatsby at this point, because actually it really doesn't do that much, or it doesn't really matter too much. But if you, for example, combo Gatsby with Freya, Gatsby has the ability to extend debuffs with his S2, and you can cycle his skills very, very fast, right? So you can actually get that nightmare debuff to 3 turns, 4 turns, or whatever. So you actually will never run out of that nightmare debuff. And then what happens is, because Fortissimo has only a 2-turn cooldown, now you have that, like, the nightmare debuff for the entire duration of the match, more or less. And every 2 turns, in case you need it, you get a burst heal just because of the interaction with the Freya here, right? Now let's go to Union Boss real quick, since we do have a little bit of time left. Where is it again? Okay, so we have to go to the Union Boss here. There we go. The Union Boss, this one is a blue boss. Let's go in there, right? But also there's a blue one, so there's actually a pretty good for a good showcase. So I will just remove my Didding, for example, and let's add Gatsby here, right? So my Gatsby is currently 155. He just needs more skill ups here. I do have a couple of skill ups, but to be honest, I'm saving them right now since we are getting the what did I miss? Oh, the Gatsby. Since we are getting the new LD unit next week, and in case it is something I really desperately need, I want to make sure that I have like at least like enough lattice so I can max out like 2 skills at least, right? So the character functions like just on a standard procedure. So now here we got the nightmare debuff, right? And now the Gatsby also moves. I think the Gatsby is going to do S3 again, yeah, because of the Lily reset. But once we get, so now we only have 1 turn left, but now when Gatsby moves, and now he does his S2, now see, now it got extended to 2 turns, right? And now we can actually store a lot of healing for the Fortissimo. See, we have 67k stockpiled now. Now we check it now again. I think now it's 94k, because as long as you keep that nightmare debuff on her, it works. Also, I think we can actually check it here. Where was it? That what is it stated again? Was it the dream guide? I don't think it was the dream guide, right? When it comes to the healing, nightmare takes 12% more damage when attacked, heals the attacker by 12% of the damage they dealt. So this is the part why it works. The nightmare states, when attacked, heals the attacker by 12% of the damage they... Well, now you have Fortissimo equipped with that together, and now you can actually stockpile a lot of healing. And you can see here for the Union Boss, for example, we have 3-turn nightmare. We don't run out of nightmare, right? We just don't run out. We have all our HP. I mean, if you get one-shotted, then it is what it is. But see, we have now 230k healing. So when we need it, it just procs and just heals us up, right? So I think the Freya is about to move, but I guess she just doesn't need it right now. But I think you get the gist of it. Now we have like almost 300k healing. Like when we need it, it procs, right? But we stick with the nightmare debuff the entire duration of this battle. So what happens is when we actually proc it, then the Fortissimo goes on cooldown for 2 turns, but we hit the target so much that you can easily stockpile like another 200k or something, 100k healing, right? So the Freya turns into a burst healer, basically. I feel like at this point you don't necessarily even need anything. Like you could even replace the Ling Lao, add another DPS, because in that lineup, really, you don't really need it too much, right? I just have it because it was just standard stuff like that. And I also think like cleansing isn't too bad, like especially when the boss is like defense break and stuff like that. But just basically showing you now, because of pet speed and stuff like that, yeah, now we have 4 turns. This is how you can actually turn the Freya into a healer. And this is a solid strat, guys. You can basically, for example, also when you do your Phantom Theater, you can just slap Freya into a team with a Fortissimo and turn it into a healer, right? Because if you're lacking like a heal or something, because you already have Linglao in your setup or in the co-op setup, right? Now you can just, the way you can build her, and this is also the way I use my Freya. I actually use her like for weeks now. I just forgot to make a video about it, to be honest. Shout out to my people for that. Like Ashrock came up with the entire strat. Agni showed it to me and was like, dude, I was actually mind blown by the whole interaction. I was like, dude, there's so much about Freya you can figure out. And this is now another showcase. Like for PvE, you 100% want to play her on Fortissimo because as you can see, that's pretty damn strong, right? This is pretty damn strong. But yeah, guys, I think this is all the time we have for today, and this is all I wanted to cover for today, guys. So let me know in the comments down below how you think about it. And guys, as always, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment. I really appreciate it, and see you with the next one. Deuces.